All right, let's talk about a question I have that I think is worth asking. Harrison Butker, is he a Hall of Famer at this point? Now, he's only been in the league for 7 years, so really what I should say is he on pace to be a Hall of Famer? But it's interesting. So I figured let's compare him to a guy who many consider to be the greatest kicker of all time. These are his stats next to Justin Tucker's stats because, again, him and Butker Tucker is the number one kicker in terms of field goal percentage of all time, but Butker is number two. So that's kind of why I wanted to make this comparison. Now, looking at their numbers side by side, the numbers do, I think, lean towards Tucker's way. So the extra point percentage, which is not included in their overall field goal percentage, you see that Tucker does have a sizable jump. Although Butker's is really good, it's just Tucker's is godly as he basically never misses those. Also, neither guy have ever missed a field goal from less than 30 yards. They're both perfect in the less than 30-yard range. You do see a couple categories lean Tucker's way. The 30 to 39 range, he has about a 4-point lead there. Also in the 40 to 49 range, he has a couple percentage point lead there. Although Butker does edge him out in terms of the 50-plus yard field goal range. Both guys, get asked to do a lot of 50-plus yard field goals. They're trusted to make those big kicks, but Butker a little bit better there. Not enough to make his overall field goal percentage better, but still interesting. So overall, these numbers, you look at them and you say, yeah, Tucker's numbers are better, but you also look at them and say, well, Butker's are still really good. And if your crime is falling short of what many people believe to be the GOAT kicker, well, then that's, again, still think impressive for Butker. This chart also impressive for Butker as his extra point percentage in the regular season versus the playoffs is very similar. His total field goal percentage is very similar. And just in general, I think what a lot of people would look at with Butker and what's most impressive with him is how many key field goals he's made. So the numbers are great, but it's not just about the numbers, right? Look at Adam Vinatieri, who in part is going to get in for some of the clutch field goals he made in the playoffs. I think Butker, you could definitely look at that and feel similarly. Now, it hasn't all been perfect. I think the one you look at that's the biggest knock on his resume is this one. So it was in his rookie season, 2017. So that's obviously an asterisk. This is in the pre-Mahomes era. This is the Alex Smith playoff game. The Marcus Mariota big comeback in this game. The Chiefs had an opportunity to go up 14 here with 2 minutes and 31 seconds left in the third quarter. Harrison Butker would miss this field goal, which would result in it still just being an 11-point game instead of a 14-point game. The Titans scored 2 touchdowns, which meant that they took the lead, but obviously that would have only tied the game. Maybe they would have gone for 2 on one of those. I don't know, but I would assume not, given they had kind of a conservative head coach at the time. So probably you would have been looking at overtime there. Again, missed field goals happen. What I wanted to do, though, is look at clutch field goal opportunities for Butker. Let's look at I kind of did a similar thing for Mahomes. Let's look at the end of game situations. I'm talking make the field goal, your team either ties it or wins it, miss the field goal, your team loses it, those kind of situations. He's had 6 in the playoffs over the course of his career. Well, let's talk about all 6. First was this one, which would be in the conference championship game against New England. Patrick Mahomes led a pretty good drive, an amazing drive to get down the field. They could try a 39-yard field goal attempt at this spot. And on this one, of course, you remember, Harrison Butker would make this field goal. They would end up losing in overtime. The Patriots won the coin toss and marched down the field, scored a touchdown right away. So, Mahomes never got the ball. Harrison Butker never got an opportunity to win it in that one. But, still a clutch kick. So 1 for 1 there. This next one was maybe his toughest field goal, which is a 49-yard attempt. And this was, you remember the situation, right? This was a 13-second game where the Chiefs were able to get, 2 big plays to get a 49-yard field goal attempt, which is certainly no gimme, especially in the weather. And also worth mentioning, I feel like the pressure has to be even higher given what you just saw your teammates do. It's almost like you can't let them down after they, pulled off the impossible of just 10 seconds, giving you a chance. And Butker did not let them down. He would kick this game-tying field goal as well. And, of course, similar to the Patriots one, we all remember what would happen in overtime. Chiefs, won the coin toss, marched down the field, scored a touchdown, and which was a big reason why the rules eventually got changed. Then this one against Cincinnati, this one was in a loss, but still an important play at the time. So this is going to be a 44-yard field goal after, Mahomes, remember, he fumbled at the end of regulation. The Chiefs recovered, though, but they got knocked back a bit. So made it not the easiest field goal in the world here. Harrison Butker, however, did make this one as well, so we are now looking at a 3-for-3 situation in these situations. So far, so good, right? Well, where's the bad one come? Where's the miss coming? Well, there was this opportunity, which is at the end, once again against Cincinnati, this time a tie game, though, a 45-yard field goal attempt to try and take the lead. This is after the Joseph Osai roughing the passer out of bounds penalty. And Harrison Butker, okay, biggest of spots. Can he make it? Well, yeah, he can make it. So makes this one as well. The Chiefs go on to go to the Super Bowl. This was just last year and ultimately win the Super Bowl. So now Harrison Butker, a perfect 4-0 in these situations. And, in the Super Bowl, he was given this one, which I already mentioned. He's never missed a field goal under 30 yards, so 27-yard attempt. You're kind of expecting him to make this one, but still, it's for the Super Bowl, right? Like, there's a lot of pressure. Listen, any, NFL kicker can, in practice, make these all day long. But in the Super Bowl, they can't all. Look at Blair Walsh, for example. Like, it happens. Not here, though. Of course, Harrison Butker hits that one, gets the Super Bowl winner, and then finally, just this past year, it was a kind of a similar situation, a 29-yard attempt with 6 seconds left, which, again, there is pressure here, but at this point, I guess Harrison Butker's seen it all. He's not going to miss this one. Butker does, in fact, drill this. So in these situations, he's a perfect 6-0 in these spots. And yeah, a couple of them were easy, a couple of them were under 30, but a lot of them weren't. In fact, 3 out of the other 4 were over 40 yards, and the only one that wasn't was a 39-yarder. So definitely not exactly chip shots here, but, he's managed to make every single one he's had an opportunity to. And I would argue none of those kicks were even his most impressive kick. In this past Super Bowl, the 57-yarder with a bad snap, so he had to just drill it through, but he was able to do that, to me, was the most impressive kick of his, career at this point. And while that's not technically the quote-unquote clutch situation of you make it, you win type situation, if he doesn't make that, hard to imagine the Chiefs win this game because it would have given the 49ers great field position to go up 10 points, probably entering the fourth quarter. Listen, they've blown that before in the past, so it's not a guaranteed victory by any means, but definitely was a huge kick in that game. And just, if it was in the, a week 3 matchup, we'd be talking about that as one of the greatest kicks of all time. So for him to do it in the Super Bowl in a big spot is definitely probably, one of the more impressive kicks. So, well then, that kind of, let's answer the question then. Is Harrison Butker a Hall of Famer? Well, like I said, he has more work to be done. I think if he retires today, he is not. But he has a ton of clutch kicks under his belt. If the Chiefs are going to keep going to Super Bowls, he's probably going to keep getting these clutch kicks. I would say that there's been kind of a lot of challengers to Justin Tucker over the years. A lot of guys who've come through and, for 3-4 seasons, put up Justin Tucker numbers and then kind of fallen off. That is something that's happened. But Butker now, we're talking about him with 7 years, putting up just shy of Justin Tucker numbers and playing for a dynasty. So he's getting all these opportunities to make these clutch kicks. I think he is on pace to be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. There have been a handful of kickers in the Hall of Fame. Who knows? Maybe he'll be he won't be the next one because there's a couple guys ahead of him. But maybe he will be one that happens in the future. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.